everybody. Dan here. John going around the drums. Hey, John, how are you?
Doing well.
Cool. It's our news desk report for March 7th, 2025. We've got jam-packed all kinds of news, and welcome. We're happy to have you on board. Thanks for following what we do. And as it seems like almost always, we always want to do this first, and we don't want to start with a downer, but we feel it's necessary to acknowledge those who have passed in the last week in the music industry.
Celebrate their lives.
Yeah. So, John, why don't you go ahead and start that, and then we'll pick it all back up.
Okay. This is February 28th. David Johansen, singer known for the New York Dolls, passed away at 75 after dealing with cancer.
Yeah, and coincidentally, go ahead.
Trivia question for you, Dan. What was his pseudonym, alter ego?
I don't know. I don't know.
No. Buster Poindexter.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Wow, that's funny. That's what I call my phone. And we recently had Spike T. Smith not only on for an interview, but also he was the guest answer reader for some of the answers of our Come Get Punked music trivia themed game show that we had recently. And he talked about working with New York Dolls, and then David passed. So unfortunate there. And on March 1st, it was Joey Mullen, songwriter and guitarist, who was the last surviving band member of Badfinger, passed away at age 77 after dealing with health issues. But Tony Kaye of Yes played with Badfinger as well. So maybe they mean the original lineup, because I know Tony wasn't the original lineup. Maybe that's what refers to. But very sad to have lost him. Legendary music there from Badfinger.
Okay, on the same day, March 1st, Angie Stone, singer, songwriter, actress, record producer, and co-founder of the hip-hop group The Sequence, died from a car accident at age 63.
And that's heavy for reasons I don't want to get into here, because I don't want anything weird to happen. But remind me, I'll tell you when we're off the air. And folks, if you dig deep into the news, you'll find out what I'm talking about. I just don't want to make it a discussion here, but let's just say it's a little curious. Let's see, March 3rd, Carl Dean. Oh yeah, husband of Dolly Parton. Actually kind of secretly behind the scenes quiet. Carl Dean never wanted to share her spotlight or anything, passed away at 82. And Parton said, Carl and I spent many wonderful years together. Words can't do justice to the love that we shared for over 60 years. Wow. I'm only a few years older than that. I can't imagine being married that long, as my wife happens to walk right by the office door. She's waving.
Hi,
John says hi.
For the record, I've been married a year and a half. And
a year and a half?
Yeah.
Wow, why did I think it was so much longer? Well, you've been with Carol a lot longer.
Yes, my whole life now.
Well, Dolly says she does appreciate everybody's sympathy and prayers and everything.
Yes. Okay, moving on, March 4th, Roy Ayers, the godfather of neo soul, passed away in a hospital at age 84 after dealing with a long illness. And another question to put you on the spot, Dan. What instrument did Roy Ayers play?
Oh man, this is Idiot of the Week Day. Let me think while I take a sip of Rejuvenation, who sponsors our trivia shows. Let me think.
Let me know when you give up.
I'm gonna say bass.
No, he actually played vibraphone.
Oh, wow.
He was one of the pioneers of the vibraphone.
Well, making it a popular instrument, I suppose, in more popularized music.
Yeah, because it's kind of on the edge, kind of a fringe instrument. So, and when I read this, I read that Lionel Hampton gave Roy first pair of vibraphone mallets.
Wow. I'll tell you why I'm so embarrassed to not know that. That's because mallet instruments are really my second favorite percussion instrument. Really? Timpani are first. I have a pair of timpani.
Yeah.
Okay. And then mallet instruments, and then the drum set, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Weird, right?
There you go.
There you go.
For me, it's just flipped around. I get drum set on top.
There you go. So very sad to lose Roy. This day in music, 1987, the Beastie Boys became the first rap act to have a #1 album in the US with their debut album Licensed to Ill. The album is one of Columbia Records' fastest selling debut records to date. And the Beastie Boys, I think, to my recollection, are probably the earliest rap / rock / spoken word artists to really make it in the mainstream world. And bands like Korn and even more so, there's been a couple other bands that White Slipknot have incorporated those things, even though the genres are completely different from me.
Yeah. All right. Go all set.
Beastie Boys were groundbreaking in that way.
Yeah, excellent. So this day, 1983, Tears for Fears released their debut studio album, The Hurting, which peaked at #1 on the UK album chart. The album features singles Mad World, Change, Pale Shelter, all of which reached the top 5 in the UK. Also, New Order released Blue Monday as a 12-inch single through Factory Records. The track went on to become the biggest selling 12-inch single of all time. It reached #9 in the UK singles chart and spent 38 weeks in the top 75 and it spent 186 weeks on the UK independent singles chart.
Crazy.
Effectively selling for 4 years until the release of the Substance 1987 compilation on which it is featured.
Yeah, pretty good accomplishment there. And that is a really great example of timing, because their music came out when they were part of the new wave, artsy new wave movement. And there I was at the same time in a band that was a prog band that was a combination of Frank Zappa, Gentle Giant, and Old Genesis, trying to get signed. And we were like so far out of the loop. We didn't even know.
I will say Tears for Fears, for me, being a Bay Area guy for the middle part of my life, Tears for Fears was one of those groups that, like, anytime they had an event at Golden Gate Park in San Francisco, usually Santana, Tears for Fears.
Wow.
Sometimes Tower Power. Yeah. Very cool.
Interesting. That's an interesting thing. And folks, feel free to chime in on any of the topics that we're reporting or talking about, or just making up off the top of John's head. 1976, Elton John was immortalized in wax at the Madame Tussauds in London, the first rock star to be so since the Beatles. That's quite an accomplishment. And there you can go see John like this. Actually, now that it's melted a little bit, it might be more like this, which is his current physique.
And that's why I'm hunched over. My back is melting.
Gotta love Elton John.
Very good. 1975, David Bowie released his 9th studio album, Young Americans. The album marked a departure from the glam rock style of Bowie's previous albums, showcasing his interest in soul and R&B music. Young Americans featured the song Fame, co-written with Carlos Alomar and John Lennon. Somebody, I recognize the names. I know John Lennon. Which gave Bowie his first #1 U.S. single.
Now, I have a trivia question for you regarding that song, and most people don't know this. And
I wouldn't know. There's just no chance I'll know the answer.
You never know. So maybe someone in the audience does.
There you go.
I got to ask it. Enja, are you nearby? There's a very famous singer that you wouldn't think would be a backup singer on that song that is. And she's kind of when she walks by, I'll answer, folks. If anyone knows, go ahead and chime in. It's not Al Jarreau. It's Someone like that. Anyhow, we'll keep it moving and we'll come back to that.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds
In
good.
1970, Simon and Garfunkel's album Bridge Over Troubled Water started a 10-week run at number one on the US chart. The duo had split up by the time of its release. They had such a short yet impactful career. Who played drums on that album, John?
Steve Gadd.
Hal Blaine.
Oh, okay.
Hal Blaine. Yep, absolutely.
All right. So we got 1969. Led Zeppelin appeared at the Bluesville 69 Club at the Hornsey Wood Tavern in Finsbury Park, London, England. The venue was a function. I'm only laughing because I'm struggling at the and a and club.
One syllable words.
One syllable, yeah. So anyway, the venue was a function room at the back of the pub and was so small that the stage was only big enough for John Bonham's drums. Good for that. And the rest of the group had to stand on the floor at the same level as the crowd. Yes!
Can you imagine being in the front row, standing there right in front of them? I can't even imagine. Okay, so now we're going to move to some Drum Talk TV news, and I'm slipping a couple things into the notes here. So one of the things is today is a very special personal day for me, but it also does relate to Drum Talk TV because my wife, first of all, that's my wife, Enja. My wife really is the one that came up with the idea of Drum Talk TV, and she's also our HR manager, and she's also our production manager when we cover live events and has been doing so for about 8 years. And today is the anniversary of the day we met on a blind date.
Wow!
Yeah, yes. 17 years ago. And little did I know that would turn out to us having a blended family of mixing our families together and ending up with so far 11 grown kids, 19 grandkids, and a 1-year-old great-grandson that we were just in Vegas to celebrate last weekend. So happy anniversary. What's that?
Tell me this.
Yeah.
Was it mutual attraction at the very get-go on your blind date?
Yeah, it was, except I was more overt about it, whereas she was trying to keep up this wall of secrecy and defense. And it was like, yeah, whatever, a graham cracker wall, lady.
Yeah.
So happy anniversary to my love, Enja. And I also have something that I'm going to slip in here regarding the Las Vegas Drum Show, which we have talked about. But folks, John Kinsting is going to be there. This guy, he's going to be one of our 2 correspondents interviewing people on the showroom floor. But he won't be alone because we're going to have this wonderful young lady, Sam Sherholz, also with us as a correspondent. Check her out on University of Nevada Radio.
You're listening to 91.5 HD2 The Beat. It's Sam, and I've got some new music coming up now for you. This is Cry For Me by The Weeknd, only on The Beat.
Yeah, guys, she's going to be with us. And since we're talking about the Las Vegas Drum Show, let's show a promo. It's a sure bet. The Las Vegas Drum Show, Sunday, March 30th, 2025. Join us at the Tuscany Suites and Casino in Las Vegas. Hi, it's Dan from Drum Talk TV. We will be there at booths 38 and 39. And so will many other awesome exhibitors, including Mark Sherholz, and these amazing drums of his in the booth right next to ours. Look at those colors and that sparkly, glittery finish and shine. Mark is the owner of Las Vegas Drum Store and drummer and band photographer writer at Drummer Vision Magazine. How about this crazy red and silver kit? Mark tells us this is a drum set made up of North drums with 8 D-drum octobons, 2 congas, and a BMX bike all the same color? A BMX bike with the kit? I think the drummer probably uses a throne. Anyhow, Mark goes on to say that they're all fiberglass plastic, just like Corvettes. And you never know who you may run into and jam with at the show. Here's me and Jeff Totora of Blue Man Group, raiding the Rock Vault, Counts 77, and more. I caught up with the show mastermind Rudy Diegas in his amazing Las Vegas drum room to talk about it.
March 30th of 2025, and people say, well, why are you doing it on Sunday? Well, I've had a lot of local drummers reach out to me and say, I can never make your show because it's on Saturday. Because I'm playing, setting up a rehearsal, sound checks, gigs, all that. And now those people hopefully will come to the show on Sunday. And plus, I try to really push the show to younger drummers in the school system. And a lot of those kids are really busy on Saturdays. All kinds of sports and practices and you name it, running errands and all that. Hopefully on Sunday they can come out. And the idea is to get more people involved and get more attendance. It's been growing every year.
So join us March 30th at the Tuscany Suites and Casino in Las Vegas for some awesome exhibitors of products, some clinics, raffles, a few rounds of our music trivia game show at our booth, and more.
It's Sunday.
Come see us. It's going to be awesome. John and Sam are going to be interviewing. I'm going to be interviewing. We're going to play a few rounds of our game show in our booth, music trivia. You can win prizes. Rudy, who I'll tell you more about in a moment, the founder of the drum show, is also going to be doing raffles. There's going to be clinics. I got a couple more videos about that to show you. But I caught up with Rudy this past weekend. We talked about the drum show, and I'm putting something in the comments that will link you to the video when we're done with this. Don't jump off of this to see that, but go watch this video of Rudy giving me a tour of the Las Vegas drum room. You'll see some really vintage and interesting collectible stuff. And my cat cannot make up her mind. Come on, Sage. You got it. Okay. And there's going to be some really great clinics there. Here is where are we with that? I'm looking for the right, bear with me here. I don't see here it is. Check this out. This is one of the clinics. Yeah, Louis Palmer's going to be there doing a really great clinic. There's going to be some other great stuff happening there. And that was Louis playing to a song I wrote called I'm Just Making This Up. I didn't really write it. And
by Dan and the Bullshitters.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And going back to my little trivia question for John and you folks that you might have missed when John mentioned on this date way back when David Bowie had a hit with Young American, his first hit. It was Luther Vandross that sung backup vocals on it. How kind of off the wall is that, right?
So I can even top that. David Bowie, hip guy. I saw him on some show, and I don't know, it might have been the Muppets, I don't know, but David Bowie sang with Bing Crosby, not David Crosby.
Oh,
Bing
wow,
Crosby.
really? Oh,
Yeah.
I remember that, the Christmas thing. Yeah.
And it was just
That was
so
a big hit on MTV every year.
Yeah.
Cool. Moving along real quickly with Drum Talk TV news. I'm going to show a video regarding our Vinnie Paul challenge. Let's see, where's that? Vinnie Paul drumming challenge on the Drum Talk TV Brilliance membership site. Can send in more submissions for our play along contest if you're a premium member, whereas free member showcase members can only submit up to 2, and that's still okay. First, second, and third prize winners will win music gift certificates to their favorite music store, no matter where you are in the world, valued at $125, $75, and $50 respectively. And you can submit videos of yourselves playing along, not just to hits, but also deep cuts. And believe it or not, they not only can be, they must be officially released recordings, because they won't get pulled or muted the way we have them, and it's nothing illegal, the way we have them in our platform. Here's a video, check it out.
March is the birth month of iconic metal drummer Vinnie Paul. Drummers, want to honor Vinnie and also have a chance to win a gift certificate to one of your favorite music stores? Whether it be Pantera, Damage Plan, hell yeah, there are many tracks to choose from which you could play along to. Drum Talk TV Brilliance presents the Vinnie Paul Drumming Challenge, and the submissions window is open all of March 2025 up until the 31st at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Here's how it works. Step 1. Choose your favorite track that features Vinnie on drums. These can and must be play-alongs to the official recordings, and you don't have to worry about them getting muted or pulled since it'll be on our platform. Step 2. Record videos of yourself in horizontal mode playing to your selection. Step 3. Submit your videos in the Drum Talk TV Brilliance Showcase. It's free! Step 4. Your videos will be reviewed and graded on overall performance, accuracy, technique, and sound, which are explained further on the submissions page. Here's what you can win. First, second, and third place winners can win a gift certificate to their favorite music store, as well as a free Drum Talk TV shirt. Pick from 36 designs. First place will also have the chance to be interviewed live on Drum Talk TV. Don't miss out. Join us in honoring Vinnie Paul over at drumtalktvbrilliance.com.
All right. Hey, Steve. Wow. Steve, in the background, can you adjust those comments? For some reason, it doesn't allow me to copy and paste the whole thing there. So you could take it right from our notes that people know. And I'll do that with the game show one, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, join and let's honor Vinnie Paul. That's for the month of March. April, I believe, is Stuart Copeland. May, I don't recall, but we got the whole year planned out. So go to the link that'll be in there that Steve is putting in. And there you go. Yeah, John, it's all yours.
Okay. Let's focus on the game show aspect of Drum Talk TV. And the next game show is Tuesday, March 18th at 6 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern. $50 worth of prizes each round. Theme is grunge. And we have included a link to the event.
Yep. In fact, the theme is 90s grunge music. And these, John, you've been to our trivia shows. They're really fun, aren't they?
Oh, they are. And you don't be like, if you're a one-trick pony like me and funk is your life, okay, loosen up. Join, like when they do prog or when they do punk or something, you know. Now, if you do polkas, I'm not going to be there. But you know,
you might want to be. You never know.
But a lot of fun. Lot of fun.
Thanks. Yeah, we'd love to see you folks there. It's a lot of fun. So that's on the 18th, 6 p.m. Actually, PD time, because it will be daylight saving time. There's no S on saving. It's daylight saving time. So it'll be 6 p.m. PDT and 9 p.m. EDT. I'm going to fix that in my notes because I'm going to put in the link right now so that you folks could put that on your calendars. Let me make sure it translates properly. It does. Lots of fun. We've seen people win by guessing. Every month we do 2 game shows with different themes. So sign up for our newsletter, and what you could do at the Drum Talk TV Facebook page at the top where there's a sign up button, or you can go to drumtalktvbrilliance.com, and I'm sure there's a way to sign up there. So there you go. Yeah. Thank you, Steve, for fixing that. Next item on our news is this past week, I did a couple of Yes Shift episodes with Steven. On the 4th, we talked about Chris Squire on what would have been his 77th birthday. And yesterday, we talked with drummer, this was so much fun, such a great guy, Ronnie Siago, who's played with Bill Ward, who sung lead on his solo album. Bill Ward sung lead on his own solo album. Ronnie played drums. He played a lot of different projects with Patrick Moraz, played with Circa, which was often a quilt, if you will, of different Yes members and other members. Johnny Bruce, who we've also had on the show. Jeff Berlin, who's my co-host on our new show, Rhythm and Lows, and co-hosted our 10-year anniversary show. I think you met Jeff at that, right, John?
I met him. Very good guy.
Mick Taylor and many more. And on Tuesday, I'll be interviewing Greg Hersey at 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, US times. And check out this video of Greg ripping it up as soon as I press the right button. Here we go. It's a little sticky. I think one of the dogs might have been nearby. It didn't come out right. Here it is. I just love it. And that's one of the things different about Drum Talk TV. We don't just cover the big rock stars, jazz stars, big educators, and a couple new people. I found Greg just in my feed, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is so creative. Yeah. I want to have him on and talk about his influences, his processes, and the different setups, and geek out on the weird gear, and it'd be fun.
Oh, so the gear. That's what caught my attention.
Yeah,
and I need one of those lazy cymbals.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that Tuesday evening coming up, and John, it's all yours.
Yeah. So Drum Tracks is offering 5-day shed camp challenges where people, even if they're already good drummers, and learn more about the 4 core techniques. The next 5-day challenge is March 17th, and people can use our referral link, and there we go. Link is included there. And there's a note about the capitalization of Drum Talk TV when you enter that world. So it'll be fun.
Check
me, anything that's like a drum clinic or a band camp I'm there.
Well, this is really cool. And some of you may know of Damani Rhodes, who has put out many, many great drumless tracks for drummers to play to. And this is a new thing that he's got going. Check out this video.
I don't understand. Why can't I play it fast? Hold on, wait. Yo, bro, what are you working on, man? You sound frustrated. I'm trying to get better at flowing around the kit. I have the ideas in my head, but every time I go to speed it up, your left hand starts dragging behind it. Everything falls apart. Exactly. I mean, I know all my rudiments, but when I try to go faster, this lens just shuts all the way down. All right, here's the deal, man. It really has nothing to do with the rudiment that you're trying to play. It's the fact that you haven't mastered the core 4 techniques. The core 4? And that's why it all starts to fall apart when you try to speed it up. What's that? Single strokes in both hands, double strokes in both hands, singles and doubles in your right foot without a double pedal, and also linear patterns, which is basically just doing singles and doubles between your hands and feet. If you don't have these locked in, your rudiments, your solos, everything is always gonna feel shaky. So how do I fix that? There is a challenge that's been designed for drummers just like you. And the whole point of this challenge is to simplify how you practice and focus on what really matters, which is these core 4 techniques. Whoa, less is what you need to be saying to me right now. How do I join? Yo, bro, it's simple. All you gotta do is just click the link around this video and you'll be able to learn more and even sign up for the next Head Camp Challenge.
There you go.
That sounds good.
So if you're a really good drummer, there's always more to learn. There's always more to get better at. And that's the point of this Drum Shed Challenge, is for good drummers who truly want to get even better. Okay. Excellent. Next, and Steve put the link in for that. Next, we got Paul McCartney showed support for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominee Joe Cocker, writing to the Hall. Joe was a great man and a fine singer whose unique style made him some fantastic performances. Quick note from me, one of my favorite concert films was Joe's last, shortly before he passed, and that's live in Cologne. That's not the name of it. It was filmed live in Cologne, and it was called, Steve will look it up, hopefully, but just look up the last concert film that Joe did, and it's amazing. And I can't say enough about it. Yeah. So I won't. Here's the rest of the story. He sang one of our songs with a little help from my friends, a version produced by Denny Cordell, which was very imaginative. All the people on the panel will be aware of the great contribution Joe made to the history of rock and roll. And whilst he may not have ever lobbied to be in the Hall of Fame, I know he would be extremely happy and grateful to find himself where he deserved to be amongst such illustrious company. Absolutely. Joe goes way back, and he was maybe did the most covers of any other rock star, and none of them were cheesy. They he did several Beatles covers. He did Letter, which was just great.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. My baby wrote me a letter. My baby wrote me a letter. And of course, Mad Dogs and Englishmen with Leon Russell, Jim Keltner, and Alan White on drums. Just amazing career. Amazing songwriter, singer, and performer.
You ever see Live at Montreux?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
There you go. Boy,
yeah.
Really
cool.
Nice. Okay. Canadian heavy metal band Spiritbox, gotta love the name, has released a second album today called Tsunami Sea. The band's vocalist, Courtney LaPlante, however, is disappointed in the release of their latest single, Crystal Roses, as releasing it in the same week as the album was not part of the rollout plan.
Oh,
Released on Monday, Crystal Roses was taken down from streaming services for the days preceding the album.
that's
A little
interesting.
business move, yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Chappell Roan announced March 13th as the release date of her new country-inspired track, The Giver. Asked about whether she's making a country album, she says, right now, I'm just making songs that make me feel happy and fun. I like that she's not being genre specific.
Yeah.
Barfing out music, not barfing, but you know what I mean. Emptying out music regardless of, not paying attention to what genre it is or trying to fit in a box. I love that.
Exactly. A healthy attitude. Virginia indie rock band Car Seat Headrest have announced their first album in 5 years, a rock opera titled, I'm sorry, I'm chuckling. It's just band names. It gets me going. They have announced their first album in 5 years, a rock opera titled Scholars, due May 2nd. The 9-track LP is set at the fictional college campus, Parnassus University, focusing on students and staff whose travails illuminate a loose narrative of life, death, and rebirth. That's
interesting.
Heavy.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
That's interesting. And our last little nugget before John asks us all, me and all of you watching or listening included, an icebreaker. Names have been announced for this June's Glastonbury Festival lineup. It includes Neil Young, Alanis Morissette, the 1975, Olivia Rodrigo, Rod Stewart, The Prodigy, and more. I'm curious who the more is because I've never heard of any of those other people. Just kidding.
There we go. And so now,
what's the
I get
icebreaker?
to ask Dan a question, okay? And
wait, 1 sec.
Okay.
Newsflash from producer Steven. He says also a bit of news that came in. Nad Sylvan, known as the vocalist with legendary guitarist Steve Hackett, announces his vulnerable and personal new solo album, Monumentata, for release on June 20th, 2025 via Inside Out Music. Our friends over there got great prog albums. Sylvan's music draws heavily from the golden age of progressive rock while blending in folk, classical, and modern rock influences, resulting in a sound that feels both classic and contemporary. The collection of 8 tracks continues bridging those styles while sprinkling in, and I think there's more that I can't see there, but there you go. Oh, while sprinkling in, we don't know. I guess you got to buy that out, folks. Yeah, cool. Thanks, Steve, for popping that in there. Great late news break. Cool. All right. What's the icebreaker, John? And
okay,
folks,
here we go.
I want to make sure everyone knows they need to participate in the icebreaker answer
Absolutely.
as well. Come on, folks. Here,
Because
get ready to comment. Here's John with the icebreaker.
This is kind of for drummers, but we're gonna start this way. So Dan, I know you play drums. Word on the street is you play drums.
I play drums.
And also word on the street is you started very young, like 7. You beat me, I think, because I started at 9.
Yeah, but that was 20 years before I started. I started a few months before.
Rock, a little club.
A few months before 7, but Stephen, news break continues the other thing, saying, sprinkling in a few more from the jazzy pop feel of Flowerland to the 60s R&B influence, Monte Carlo Priceless to the aggressive rock flavor of That's Not Me. Thanks, Steve. Watch for Nat Sylvan's album if you're into prog, and he's a great singer. Okay, back to you, John.
Okay, so
I started shortly before turning 6, so that would be late 1969. Giving away my age. Who gives up?
So, okay, my question to you is, it's like you started playing drums pretty much in the womb, so you were a fetus when you put the first drumsticks in your hand. My question to you is, have you ever been a victim of stage fright? You ever been so nervous? You're just, oh God.
You know what? I've never had stage fright, and I'll tell you why.
Whoa!
Never, ever. And I've played at the LA Coliseum. I've opened at 15, I opened for Styx, Heart, Blue Oyster Cult separately. The Osmonds, Pat Boone. I've played in front of some big artists.
Oh, I know.
But I'll tell you why I think I didn't have stage fright. When I was in junior high, I was in concert band and Tuesday night jazz band. And they, of course, would have the concerts where you'd invite your family and all that stuff. And I remember the very first time, and I don't call it stage fright, but I was excitingly nervous. And once we started playing, it was just so electrifying to me, and looking out and finding my parents. And I think that tempered the whole, it erased the probability of future stage fright. So I kind of got like massaged into the process at a young age in school. And when it came to doing gigs, I went on tour. Like I said, the first time I was 15, it was more about being excited. And, I never drank coffee, and the energy drinks didn't exist, but I always felt so wound up before a show. Yeah. How about you? And folks, chime in as well if you're a musician.
It's funny.
Do you still get stage fright?
Yeah. Well, see, my situation's different. It's like, I might be playing for 20 people at the Grange Hall down in this weekend. You never know.
Now wait a minute. Now that you mentioned
farm.
Yeah, sometimes I would get more nervous, a little nervous playing in front of a few people that might come over and watch my band rehearse for some reason. Like it's that peek behind the curtain. But in front of a big crowd. So that's an interesting point.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I don't get stage fright anymore. Well, I shouldn't say that. 2 nights ago, I got up on stage and sang a song, accompanied by a guitarist, and it was just me and the guitarist.
That's right. I've seen you sing before.
I was a little nervous, but it went well, But I started at 9. My first thing was playing for my junior high fellow students. They called it at the time a dance band. It wasn't a jazz band. I was in dance band,
How interesting.
It's kind of interesting because I can't dance. But I remember
same.
I think it was like I was a little nervous, and the song was the Peppermint Twist. And I had a 4-bar drum break in the middle.
Ooh.
And I was nervous, but it's like you. After the fact, after I get done with that, it's like, oh man, I know what I want to do in this world. And that's what I want to do.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So
thanks for the icebreaker question. Folks, whether you're watching live or on the archive, go ahead and comment as well. So we talked about the drumming challenge honoring Vinnie Paul. We talked about the game shows. Here's a little bit more about the Drum Talk TV Brilliance membership site. Check this out, folks.
Drum Talk TV Brilliance is for you if you want to enjoy exclusive live stream concerts, want to participate in fan Q&As with big artists, want to play fun, music-themed game shows online with a chance to win prizes? You're a drummer and want videos posted of you playing to your favorite music without it being muted or pulled. And so much more. And it's only $12 a month or $120 a year. That's less than a combo meal at most fast food restaurants. That's an insane deal.
That's insane.
It's not just for drummers. It's for all music fans.
Yeah, so we'd love to have you folks join. It costs less than a combo meal a month. Even a drummer could afford it. And it's really fun. And once again, I want to wish my wife a happy anniversary. This is the day we met 17 years ago on a blind date. She's the one that came up with the idea of Drum Talk TV. That's her voice on most our promos. And thanks everybody for following what we do here on Drum Talk TV. And we will see you soon with much more fun stuff. Thanks everybody.
Bye-bye.